Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Charmzy from CZT Kelly Barone. Such a cute name. Cute name, cute tangle. All right, this starts off with dropping your pen. No, starts off with a dot grid. And I'm going to see if I can get 4 across here. Oh, I like to start in the middle. Oh, maybe I can get 5. Okay, it's going to be small. I'm going to regret this. No, you're going to regret it because no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to do all of these right here. Okay, it'll turn out super cute. Um, I on my version of the step out, I did 3 across, and same thing. I like to start in the middle, and then space things out. To do it in not in an to do it in an even number, I just find that hard because it's like I can kind of eyeball a center, but it'll be good. It'll be fun. All right, and if need be, I will pause and finish. And if you're tangling along with me, you can do the same, and it works out great. All right. So this one, and I will just start in the center just because. So from all these dots, these are going to become the center of what we do. We're going to put, um, I call it several different things. Flux shape, for those of us that know the tangle flux, actually it's Rick's version of flux. Or you can think of it as a teardrop. I heard Maria reference this as a tethered orb because we're tethering it. So I'm going to tether it right here and kind of come out and then come back like that. Or you could call it a petal, whatever works in your mind. And so what I'm doing is I'm coming out kind of almost to the middle. If I was looking at these 4 squares, almost to the middle. But as you will see in my step out, if you look close, um, however it ends up is going to be just fine. So it's just one of those start and do it. And 2, if your grid is like mine where it's a bit wonky, don't have to worry about that either because, I'm going to do opposites first. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, but you don't have to worry about it because it is rather forgiving. Okay, so we're going to do 4. And the other thing that I mentioned, like coming out to the middle of these 4, you could always think of it as halfway to whatever your other dot is. And if you think of it that way, then it that helps in making it forgiving. And then, like I said, this is the center of all of them. So on each dot, that's why I was saying, oh, this is going to take me forever. Um, you came up with, heard this saying, draw it bigger than you think. And so I need to remind myself of that. But you'll see, even if it goes a little wonky like that, just don't worry about it. Just do. Oh, and let's see. Oh, because I have an odd number. Oh, well, I could take those out to the side. I think first, though, I'm going to just do here and here and then decide if I want to take it out to the side because, well, I'm probably going to, but I will leave that for later. And, I should probably do a row at a time. And so when you're adding one, where you have this, so then you can have it meet up. If you end up having an extra big space, don't worry about it. If you take a look at I'm talking with my hands, I should just be tangling because I have a lot to get through here. If you take a look at the description section, and I call it the for more inspiration link. So when you see that, click that, and that will take you to Kelly's blog, and where you can see her step out and her samples. And I notice some of them don't line up. They're not butted up next to each other. Some are, so it just doesn't matter. Now, one point I want to make, coming on the next row, and still, it's one of those, it doesn't matter. Um, but what I look to do is kind of butt it up to this corner. So that way when I come to this one, I have room. I know on some, as I was doing it, it was just like, well, I went like all the way in here, and I was like, that's okay. This just makes this one a little short. It's all right. But like I said, this is the mantra. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And especially if, you are, um, I want to say plagued with perfectionist, perfection. I can't even say it because I'm laughing. Perfectionistic tendencies. It is a good mantra. Now, something else as I'm noticing, because I knowing the steps that are coming, you can also make these as fat as you want to, because we're not going to be filling in with orbs, single orbs, not a orb palooza, nothing like that. But in these big gaps, the little ones, no, but just in the big gaps, we're going to fill in with orbs, which is an amazing opportunity to have fun with them. And let's see. So this one I'm just going to be doing the tops, sort of. And then because this that last line, it kind of got a little um, squashed together. But like I said, in the end, just like everything Zentangle, it's not going to matter. It's all going to turn out wonderful. Because what happens is as I'm doing this, we get like micro focused on. I'm like going, where do I have to go? I know I have to come back with that one. It's like this is the center, and we're going here and here. So as you fill it up, you might kind of like I was just getting a little bit lost for a second. A little bit lost, and then I forgot what I was saying. That's all right. It'll come back to me. It will. And also, because it's like, as you can see, when I said, oh, you could do have these be a little bit fatter, and so then that's what my hand said. Oh, good idea. I'm going to do just that. So I have some that are thinner. It's just a variety, and that's all right. All right, and then let's see. Oh, that's right. Then this one needed to go this direction also. So that way, this one can come here. Yep. And that one is it for that. Unless I decide to, I'm hearing something coming from my downstairs. All right, that went that direction. That got a little wonky because I was going a little fast. I wasn't focused. All right. And yeah, I'm gonna go out. But you know what? I can do that afterwards. Because a lot of times I like to do that just to kind of take it to the edge or at least close. So the next, the next step is okay. Oh, you know what? You can find the centers because they're the ones that are darker. And at least here, I started in the middle. So she has us just doing a line. Hers was rather thick, so you can take a look at that and decide what you want to do. And I'll tell you what, hindsight, it might have been good. It might have been a good idea for me to do this as I was going, because then I would remember. Oh, here's the center, and here's the center. So you can do that. A lot of times, when we have the steps, there's something hinges on something else, and therefore it's like, yeah, not a good idea um, to go out of order. And you know what? You try it once or twice or three times, and then you decide, oh, you know what? It would be so much easier if I did it this way. And And of course, you can. You know, I might put just a different border or something. I don't know yet. You will already have known because you'll have seen what I did on the graphic. And then it's kind of funny as I think about it to hear me mulling over what am I going to do with that. I just don't know. All right. Now, while this is cute just as it is, it really is. The last step is putting these orbs in. And as I mentioned, it's just in the big section. So if you go, you find your centers, and we'll just go in a row. This one on the step out, I probably should have. Hey, let me know in the comments if it's like, oh yeah, that step number 6, that was a bit confusing. Let me know. At first I was like, yeah, we're gonna put orbs in these big sections, and I didn't feel like I needed to divide it up. So because here's how, and on Kelly she has it divided up this way. So she did them, going in line like this, and I'll just do this down here as well. And yeah, so in line with the centers. And then, well, actually, then if you turn your tile and you go in line with the centers again, I love that. So in actuality, it is the bigger sections, like I mentioned, in between these petal shapes. And I might just leave the outside to the outside. And then she filled them in, and I think for this, because it's hard to see, so I would recommend either, well, you know what, two things. You could just fill in the gaps on the outside, or you fill in the orb itself, and I'm going to do that, leaving in a little shine, and I do that by just putting an orb inside the orb in the area that I want to have the shine, and try to do it a little bit bigger than I think. Sometimes if I have enough room, if it's a big enough orb, you can leave a little sliver, like a little crescent on the opposite, like over here, and that makes it extra neat. But this is a nice way, whether or not you use a white gel pen to add shine, you can, of course. And this, regardless of what color paper you're using, this helps in that your white pen is not having to compete with the black ink. Because sometimes you might have to daub it a couple times on there. See, if they were all this big, I could do that little sliver, but I want to be consistent. And of course there are tons of other things you can do with these as far as gemifying them. And I know I'm going to see a lot of amazingness with this, because in our Tangle Addicts community, we have a resident guru on gems. She does amazing work, and those of you know who I'm talking about. And if you would like to see this amazing work, come and join us if you happen to be on Facebook. I have a link to our group in the description section. Just know there's like 3 membership questions that are required, all 3, and that will gain you entry. All right. It's adorable. That made a difference. Having that nice. Oops, and I see a row I missed. That nice. You got somebody. I know somebody was probably. Hey! You missed some. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Having that nice contrast is so important. Is that it? All right. I think that's it. Yeah. It is totally cute. Having that contrast. Now, I'm not sure. Now, depending on the size, I'll give it a whirl here. Although, um, maybe it's dried enough. This might be one where you don't necessarily shade everything. You could just shade, the outside. Just, do it all, and shade the perimeter of what you're working, where this is filled in. But if you wanted to, because I'm just feeling this need, I'm just going to put a little daub, a little circle. I'm going to leave the partial ones open for now. And so just a little daub. And then I'm just with a big circular motion, just bringing that out a little bit. It's kind of like if you've done the Tangle bales, I'll use this same method. Oh, see, and that adds some dimension. The challenge here with mine is that I did it a tad small. But, you can see, even if you do it small, you can make the graphite work and add a little extra something. I'm just putting some on these partials. And those you just have to be careful. And I wasn't concerning myself with the little gap as I was, doing the circular motion. That just, helps to create a little bit of a background. And if it was bigger there, I could just fill all those in gray, because that's kind of nice. Yeah, they have that difference. The contrast. Oh, super cute. Super cute. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Oh, but you know what I could do? Ooh, yes. So I didn't do like my four corners and a border. We'll just pretend that I did. I'll even make it a little wiggly here. I apparently like doing after the fact things. But you know what? That's the fun of Zentangle, is because you could just, well, and why it is touted as a way to like help rid yourself of a creative block. Because I mean, while there are guidelines and suggestions, especially if you're using it as a meditative aid, or just a way to kind of meditate and relax altogether without anything else. Even at that, there's still, it's like there's rules but not rules. And the things that they have in place are there for a reason. And if you, see, now it looks like a little pillow. I would highly recommend, if you're new to Zentangle or you have no idea what I'm talking about with what the Zentangle method is, find a certified teacher like myself that teaches, we all call it something different. A beginner's class, 101. I call mine Zentangle Essentials. I am adding those on the 5th Tuesday of when there is a 5th Tuesday, and I need to just get those posted, since that was my something that I decided I was going to do, so I could offer them regularly. But take a look, because then you get to understand the methodology that is Zentangle. And I know for people that even that have taken it multiple times, it's like it's always a good refresher to just get back to those basics and remember this is what it's all about. And but yeah, I mean, as a creative booster, it's like, oh well, it just needs something else. I just don't know what. And then you kind of run through the toolbox in your head, and knowing there's no such thing as a mistake, you can just try whatever it is that you're like, oh, I think this will work. I think I'll like this. Or I'm just going to see what will happen if. And it just depends. But it's just nice to be able to do that and explore that kind of thought. So, neat tangle, neat exercise, neat soapbox I got on. So, I appreciate your listening if you've listened all the way through. Um, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love to have you click like. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you become a subscriber to the channel. Um, I already mentioned the description section, so you get there's step out links there, links to connect with me. I mentioned the Facebook, my website. If you want to subscribe to my blog, I do send out a daily tangle. Every month I'm changing the prompt, and if there's a holiday in there, I'll add a little, uh, prompt or hashtag, and we'll have that focus for a little bit. Um, and then also when I send out replays for my classes, for the free classes, then you will get notified of those. It'll come right to your inbox. So if you want to subscribe there, that would be great. And otherwise, enjoy this. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.